Hi Devin, today is Wednesday, May 4th, 2011. Sorry for making us take another break. There's kind of been a lot going on lately in my life, with finals coming up and a couple last-minute homework assignments, that kind of thing. There's also been a lot going on in the news, as you know. However, I think that there's really only one thing that I want to talk about in today's video, and that's the death of Osama Bin Laden. I feel it would be inappropriate if we were to just ignore it in our videos completely, because it's kind of a huge thing. I was actually over at Mike Castle's place watching Hulk Versus at the time. Ben Mueller came home and asked if we had heard the news. We then turned on the TV and watched as Osama delivered what is sure to be a speech that will go down in history. Like seriously, go back and watch it again. Obama basically gives a recap of what's been going on in America in the past 10 years. It kind of felt like at the beginning of the second part of like a two-parter on a TV show where at the beginning someone says previously on X-Men or something like that. Obama was basically saying previously in America. I knew like right when I heard it that it'd be all over Facebook, and I was definitely not disappointed. Literally every status on my newsfeed at that time had something to do with the news of Bin Laden's death, and it didn't even stop there. Like, right away, there were countless memes that were created around the event. A Twitter account for Obama's ghost was created. Hell, there was even a bar crawl created for here at U of I minutes later, with 2,000 some people saying that they were attending just hours after the fact. But at the same time, there were just as many statuses saying that America was in the wrong. And to me, it seems like people don't really know how to react. The celebration of the death of another human being is very rarely a cause for jubilation. I have heard so many people saying how this death was unnecessary and how we should not be celebrating. But at the risk of losing one of our 10 viewers, I completely disagree with those people. I do understand people's reservations about taking a human life. I am normally opposed to the act of killing someone, except in situations like this. When you take into account the sheer number of lives that Bin Laden brought to an end through his actions, I cannot help but be grateful that he has been wiped from the face of the earth. For me, this isn't so much a celebration of the death of Osama Bin Laden, but rather a celebration of the work over the past decade to give those who suffered on September 11th some form of closure. The other thing that I found interesting is that also immediately after Obama gave that speech and announced the death of Osama bin Laden, Fox News was talking about how now there's a heightened security alert for the U.S., which kind of infuriates me. I don't really like Fox News, as you know, but it kind of does show that life just moves on. Even though this big, huge event has happened, Osama's death has occurred, and what we've been working towards over the past 10 years is accomplished, there's still work that needs to be done. This doesn't mean that the U.S. is going to pull out of the Middle East tomorrow, and it doesn't mean that anyone really has more faith that it's all truly over. There is talks that Osama's not really that important anymore with Al-Qaeda and just in terrorism in general. It's more so a personal victory for the U.S., kind of a we got him sort of a thing. And there will always be the people who are opposed to the current president. I mean, I'm sure you heard about how Obama just released his birth certificate last week, I believe it was, and there's still people that aren't believing that. There's people that don't believe that Osama's dead, really. I heard about some people, some friends in Washington, D.C. who were like going to the White House and that kind of thing with the huge mob that was gathered there, and I'm pretty sure there were people on the quad here celebrating. We watched some of the news afterwards, and then it just kind of went back to doing what we were doing. To me, that's one of the most important things about this, is that things just carry on like normal, no matter what happens. That's really all I want to talk about today. If I talked about anything else, it'd seem trivial and unimportant. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day. and you don't really have to do a response to this video if you don't want, but if you do, go ahead. Otherwise, talk about anything. Catch me up on what's going on.